Well, that just happened, guys. If we've learned anything from Shield Hero episode 11 today, it's that Raftalia is a woman of her word. So welcome back to the channel, guys. You guessed it. We're here to talk about The Rising of the Shield Hero, Season 2, Episode 11. And we had a pretty good episode today, honestly, guys. Still felt rushed. I finally accepted the fact that the season's just rushed. You know, can't really do much about it. I finally just accepted it, and I'm going with it. But besides it being rushed, we had a pretty good episode today. Because we finally got to see what Kyo has been really, truly planning this entire time. A bit more simplistic than I thought it would be, to be honest. But still pretty messed up all the same. So let's just kind of get into Shield Hero episode 11 today. And let's dissect it a bit. So our episode begins immediately where our last one left off. With Naofumi and the gang meeting up with Raftalia. And they're just kind of talking with each other. They're trying to get up to speed with each other, you know? Raftalia's telling them how she's a vassal hero now. Theo's showing off she can fly. All that stuff. And while that's happening, we see that kizuna's kind of mulling something over to herself, you know? She's thinking to herself that, do I really have what it takes to fight these waves, you know? Like, do I have the ability to be strong like Naofumi and stand up to these waves? Me and him were summoned for completely different reasons. I was here to fight this dragon. He's here to fight these waves. Do I have what it takes to do what he does? And as she's thinking that to herself, kind of trying to find the resolve in her, we transition to Kyo, who approaches Kazuki. Now, he ain't doing too hot, as we might have guessed, because Raftalia kind of fucked him up. And he approaches him, and he just starts belittling him, like, oh man, not only did you lose the weapon you tried to steal under my nose, you lost it to the person you let escape. And he's just berating him the whole time. And Kazuki, he's not having it. He's getting pissed. Like, how dare you? As his retainers next to him, his little lackeys are saying, no, don't move, don't move. But he does. And, I was not expecting that. Let's just say I was laughing pretty hard when I saw him just get completely cut in half. Quite funny, honestly. They told him not to move. And it's in this moment that we actually see someone come out the shadows. Someone who's apparently Kyo's ally. And she says that she's going to deal with Naofumi and the gang. Who is this person? Good question. We'll get into that in a bit. But it's in this next scene where we see Glass, Thresha, and the Lark finally reuniting with Kizuna after years of not being able to see her, honestly, for being trapped in the prison. And it's an emotional scene, you know? Glass is freaking out. She's super happy. They're all happy. Kizuna's happy, getting hugged to death, you know, just good vibes all around. Everyone's patting themselves on the back like, good job, guys. And, Kizuna asks Glass, like, oh, that's right. Now, Fumi said you guys were in his world when he found you. What were you guys doing in there? And, in this scene is where Kizuna finds out exactly what Glass and all of them were doing in there. And she just starts laying into him like, what are you doing? I know you're trying to save the world, but you're trying to kill other people's world to do it? Like, what are you doing? And, you know, when you really sit there and think about it, kind of a jump. Kind of a little bit of a jump. Just, we have to save our world, so we gotta go kill a bunch of other people and destroy their world, you know? You know, when you think about it objectively, kind of a jump in logic. But anyway, she's just chewing them out. And it's in this scene that we actually see something interesting that I legitimately do think is kind of interesting. We see the Lark get pulled aside by someone in the castle. And he calls him Young Master. And even Naofumi's questioning that, like, Young Master, what's going on? And it's revealed that Lark is actually the King of Seagal. Which, I didn't know. That was kind of surprising. But it makes sense, you know? He kind of seems like a king. And yeah, he's just the king, and he runs that shit. I just found that kind of funny, you know? And kind of interesting, actually, that he's a king, and he also is a vassal weapon hero. Very interesting. And in this same scene, Naofumi and the gang are all talking with Kizuna and her gang, and they're discussing the waves. Like, what are we going to do about the waves? Because, as I said, Kizuna was laying into glass and all of them about going into Naofumi's world and trying to kill them, saying that she's going to find another way to solve this problem. But Naofumi poses a question to her, like, what if there isn't another way? What if there just isn't? What if the only way to save our world is for us to fight and to destroy another world to do so? And Kizuna absolutely refuses that. She tells Naofumi to his face, like, I'll find a way. There's no way I'm going to fight you, no matter what. And even if there isn't another way, I'll look again, and I'll keep looking. And she extends her hand out to Naofumi, saying, will you look with me? And even Naofumi's taken aback a bit. He's like, wow, I didn't expect that response. And she tells him that she wants to team up. And she's going to help him find Kyo and bring him to justice no matter what. And Naofumi reluctantly does agree to that. So now everyone's all buddy-buddy right now. But there's one problem. If they're looking for Kyo, they need some armor. So we transition to them going to a blacksmith and honestly asking for some pretty outrageous things. And let me say, man, the blacksmiths in this show, man, give them the real MVP. Because it doesn't matter. In Naofumi's world, Kizuna's world, they get run ragged, man. They're working hard as hell. Oh, they just get run ragged. The true MVPs of the show, the blacksmiths. So after they go there and they ask for all this stuff to be made, one day, by the way, only in one day, for like 9 people. No pressure. As they're leaving, they run into the girl that was with Kyo, and she immediately attacks them. And she's quirky as hell, as you would expect. She's like, oh, how dare you try to fight me with multiple numbers? And Kizuna's just like, didn't you attack us? So they get into a little fight, and she's not bad. She's pretty capable, honestly. But obviously, against, like, what, 9 people or something at this point, when, like, 6 or 7 of them are heroes, she doesn't really pose much of a chance. And they kind of take her out pretty quickly. But it's in that moment that they notice something's kind of up. Because her weapon, her sword, gifted to her by Kyo, starts acting a bit strange, you know? So they decide they need to disarm her quickly. So they quickly get out of her hand, and the sword comes back. It grows tendrils and tries to attach to her. And realizing they need to get far away from that sword as possible, they quickly cut it off of her and throw it into the air where it abruptly explodes. And even this girl's taken aback by it. She's like, wait a minute, what? Kyo gave me that sword. What's going on? And they're saying, oh, he probably just tried to kill you along with us. And she's like, no, there's no way that's possible. There's no way he would do something like that to me. So they decide to capture her. But Kizuna doesn't want to be violent about it. She says, no, we want to hear you out. We want to figure out what's actually going on. So Kizuna actually takes her back to her house. And it's just the two of them talking. And she reveals that her name is actually Yomogi. And that she's childhood friends with Kyo. Which, I didn't think we'd take that kind of turn, but we are. Okay. Always the childhood friends, guys, by the way. Where's my childhood friend who's a girl? What the hell? Where's mine? But anyway, she starts talking, and she reveals to Kizuna that, yeah, they grew up together, and Kyo's always been a strange kid, you know? He's always been by himself, he's always been in weird clothes, but he was very knowledgeable. He'd always have a book with him. I wonder why. And he would teach her things. And over time, she started to like him a bit, you know? She became friends with him, and she wanted to learn from him. And she reveals that Kyo's only really doing this for his noble cause, which she claims is stopping the waves. So Kizuna tells her that, hey, our goals are aligned. We don't want to stop Kyo to kill him or anything. We want to stop him to figure out what he's really trying to do. So, because of that, her and Yomogi actually decide to work together to figure out what Kyo's trying to do. Because she's telling Kizuna, like, if he's done heinous things to make all your friends hate him this much, then we need to stop him. We need to bring him to justice. We need to do something about him. And let me say, guys, this is like the quickest turnaround I've seen in anime. Well, maybe not the quickest, but in the span of like 10 minutes, she went from trying to kill him to being friends with him. And I found that kind of funny, to be honest. It makes me really wonder how it is in the light novel. Like, is it that quick? Is it really in the span of like 6 pages or something? Where it's like, oh, I hate you. Oh, now we're friends. Like, okay. But anyway, they quickly decide that, yeah, we need to stop Kyo. So she actually takes them. Before we get to that, we actually go back to our blacksmith. And because Naofumi and his weapons are done. And the gang's weapons. So Raphtalia gets a sheath for her sword. So she's not just holding the katana anymore. Philo gets a new outfit, basically pajamas. And Naofumi gets a brand new set of armor. It looks pretty dope, honestly. His set of armor looks cool. So now they can use their weapons and their abilities in this world way, way better. And in this moment, they decide, you know, we're going to go stop Kyo. We got some time before the wave happens. We got about a day. So if we can stop him before then, all the better. We're good to go. And it's at this moment where shit hits the fan. Because we finally understand what Kyo was trying to do. As the wave's timer suddenly goes to 0. And the waves start appearing all of a sudden in this world. Which, to my knowledge, unless I'm missing something, if I am, you guys let me know in the comments, but waves haven't appeared in this world before. This world doesn't have waves or anything like that. They have... What do they have? Like, they had that dragon who is a big threat. And all of a sudden, a wave is in this world now, and Kizuna, Lilark, Thressa, and Glass, along with Yamagi, actually get teleported to the waves and leave Naofumi behind. And it's revealed in this moment that Kyo's goal wasn't to stop the waves, it was to create them in this world. And that's how our episode ends, with Kizuna realizing that this is what Naofumi and all of them have been fighting this whole time. And I gotta say, guys, I really thought his goal would be something else, besides bringing the waves to this world. Like, in theory, I get it, because if the waves come to this world instead, does that mean that they don't attack his world or whatever? But I thought this was his world, you know? So it's like, it's kind of confusing. I don't know. I feel like I might be missing something. If I am, let me know in the comments. But it was a pretty good episode, you know? We're definitely heading towards our climax. And I feel like Yamagi's turn was a little quick, to be honest. Probably like maybe 10 minutes, if even that. But besides that, you know, it is what it is. We got a rush season. But you guys let me know what you thought about this episode down below. When she was explaining Kyo's backstory, guys, I was kind of dreading it, thinking to myself, like, please don't make him sympathetic. Please, please don't make him sympathetic. I don't want him to be a good guy at some point. I really don't. Just let bad guys be bad guys. Like, is that so much to ask? Not every bad guy has to have a tragic backstory that makes us feel for them. Like, it doesn't excuse the heinous shit you do. But again, you guys let me know what you thought down below. So that'll be it for today's episode, guys. You know, we're quickly heading towards our climax of Shield Hero, and I really do still like Shield Hero, but I am hoping that Season 3 is better. It's at least paced better, but we'll see. But that'll be it, guys. So until next time, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, and just have a blessed day.